Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're passionate about helping people with business and accounting. In today's video, I want to talk about the new guidance that was issued by the SBA. This video is specific for people that have already received one round of PPP. If you have not received a round of PPP, check out this video. This video was made specifically for you. For the rest of us, let's get into the video. So I went ahead and created some slides for us to follow along with because it's a lot of information, and honestly guys, I cannot remember every single detail of this program, specifically the changes, and I wanted to make sure that I brought to you guys the most accurate information possible. So let's head into the computer and take a look at this program. So on Wednesday, SBA released two interim final rules. The first one was an 82-page document that consolidates the rules for PPP forgivable loans for first-time borrowers. And the second one is a 42-page document for second draw loans that lays out the guidelines for new PPP loans. We're going to be focusing on that guideline for this video. So in addition, the SBA released a 3-page guidance on assessing capital for minority, underserved, veteran, and women-owned businesses. So for second draw loans, borrowers are eligible for a second draw PPP loan of up to $2 million provided they have 300 or fewer employees, used or will use the full amount of PPP loan on or before the expected date for the second PPP loan to be disbursed to the borrower. So basically, you have to use up your first loan. The rule also clarifies that the borrower must have spent the full amount of the first PPP loan on eligible expenses. Revenue reduction of 25 or more in all or part of 2020 compared with all or part of 2019. This is calculated by comparing gross receipts in any 2020 quarter with an applicable quarter in 2019. Or, in a provision added in the rule, a borrower that is in operation for all 4 quarters of 2019 can submit copies of its annual tax forms that shows the reduction in annual receipts of 25% or greater in 2020 compared with 2019. That's interesting. So I didn't know about that. So I'm glad that, as long as you were in business for all 4 quarters, you can take your tax return and compare that to your 2019 tax return. And as long as it shows 25% reduction in gross revenue, then you're good. You can apply for PPP2. The Economic Aid Act did not provide a general definition of gross receipts for determining a borrower's revenue reduction. I was wondering if they were going to define that because gross receipts could really mean a lot of different things, and they actually address that. So let's see what they say. The new guidance makes the definition consistent with an old ruling that's out there. So basically here's how they define gross receipts. All revenue in whatever form received or accrued from whatever source, including the sales of products or services, interest, dividends, rents, royalties, fees, or commissions, reduced by any return on allowances. Forgiven first draw PPP loans are not included in 2020 gross receipts. So it goes back to the PPP funds that you received should not be included on your P&L as income. So now let's talk about the eligible costs. PPP borrowers can have their first and second draw loan forgiven if the funds are used on eligible costs. As with the first round of PPP, the cost eligible for loan forgiveness in the revised PPP payroll, rent, mortgage interest, and utilities. So basically they're saying the first round, it's all going to be the same costs. But in addition, the following costs are now eligible. So covered worker protection and facility modification expenditures, including personal protective equipment to comply with COVID federal health guidelines. So a lot of businesses put up plexiglasses in restaurants so people can have space between them. A lot of businesses are providing masks to their employees. So all of that protective equipment, hand sanitizer, all of that stuff that was recommended by the CDC, we can now use PPP funds to cover those costs. Expenditures to suppliers that are essential at the time of purchase to the recipient's current operations. So that gets into some of the operating expenses. So it says expenditures to suppliers that are essential at the time of purchase to the recipient's current operation. Covered operating expenses, which refers to payments for any business software or cloud computing service that facilitates business operations, bookkeeping, product or service deliveries, the processing payments, so if you take payments online or use a third-party merchant company, payment or tracking of payroll expenses, so your payroll providers if you use an external payroll provider, human resources, sales and billing functions, or accounting or tracking of supplies, inventory records, and expenses. So for a lot of our clients that are new to our firm that we do accounting consulting with, you can use PPP funds to cover our costs. That's pretty neat. To be eligible for full loan forgiveness, PPP borrowers will have to spend no less than 60% of the funds on payroll over a covered period between 8 or 24 weeks. So that's the same as the first round of the PPP loan. So we have 8 or 24 weeks to use 60% of the funds on payroll. If you're getting value out of this video, please consider subscribing to our channel and giving this video a like. Now they're saying there's a simplified forgiveness process. So borrowers that receive a PPP loan of $150,000 or less shall receive forgiveness if the borrower signs and submits to the lender a certification that is no more than 1 page long. So you need to include the description of the number of employees that you had because of the loan. So description of number of employees the borrower was able to retain because of the loan, the estimated total amount of the loan spent on payroll costs, and the total loan amount. The SBA has yet to create a simplified application form, but must do so by January 20th. The form may not require additional materials unless necessary to substantiate revenue loss reduction or satisfy relevant statutory or regulatory requirements. Borrowers are required to retain the records related to employment for 4 years and other records for 3 years, as the SBA may review and audit these loans for fraud. So if you guys have been following the PPP saga for a while, this comes as a sigh of relief. One, we know that there's more funding becoming available, and even if you got the first round of PPP, you can get the second round. And two, there's more clear guidelines regarding the program. But as always, guys, if you guys need help with PPP tracking, you need someone to take a look at your books, to take a look at how everything was recorded and make sure it was recorded correctly, schedule a consultation with us today. We want to book your appointment and get through your books so you're ready for the second round of PPP. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, give this video a like, share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.